Okay, guys. Hey, what's up? God bless everyone. Circuit Rider Repairs here. Um, with my carpentry business and nonprofit ministry for the sake of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I'm supposed to be sharing carpentry videos, but I end up doing flat Earth videos. And like, share, subscribe, or don't. Um, But yeah, what I had said about this video I captured about crepuscular rays is that crepuscular rays from the sun, the way they splay out, prove flat Earth. And I took a video and I didn't describe it well. And I promised a subscriber that I would try to explain it. And Lord willing, I'll be able to do that. You Were Born to Sing. Shout out to You Were Born to Sing. Thanks for getting on me about that. So it was just one of those moments here where here's a picture of it, okay? I took video footage of this, and this is literally smoke in my neighbor's yard because they were burning something. And the crepuscular rays came down. It was one of those moments where I was like, oh my goodness, Lord, look at that right before me. See how these rays don't look parallel at all. And if I drew these lines over it to show how at the bottom you get a much longer line than at the top where they're converging together, going back to the sun, indicating that the rays are not parallel. And, this is right across my yard, right across the street in my neighbor's yard. And I wish I got more of this on video, but I was actually on the clock for my job, and I did a quick video of it. And what the thing is about this is, obviously science teaches us that these rays are parallel, and they have to be parallel in order for the sun to be 93 million miles away and for the earth to be a globe, to explain the shadows on earth, because that's what this supposed Eratosthenes or Eratosthenes measured shadows on the earth to, and he assumed that the rays were parallel, without any necessary proof. And he figured out the circumference of the earth are very close, supposedly. So the first thing to think about is perspective. And people will point you, well, it's just perspective. They don't look like they're parallel because of your perspective, like these train tracks here. See that that's what you're actually witnessing, where these tracks don't get closer together, but they look like they do. They look like they're getting smaller as it goes off into the distance. That's a law of perspective, and that's right, and that's true. And here's another picture. See the train tracks? It looks like they're getting smaller, but they're actually not. And see the sun rays, and I agree, a lot of it is perspective, but you tell me if you think that these sun rays are parallel, and like these train tracks are actually parallel. The first thing is to start observing some of these pictures if you're not familiar. Like here, they will tell you that if you get a different perspective up top, here these clouds, see the shadows are parallel, when in actuality you have now reversed. They should be closing in a lot, but actually what you see is the cone. This cloud is like a cone. That's why this shadow appears to cone off. But being up at this high altitude perspective, these shadows, see, they should be shrinking and getting much smaller, because now you've reversed your perspective. See, if you're over here and perspective splays the rays out this exaggerated when you're on the ground, if you get up high, these shadows should be shrinking very much in size, but they're not. They're staying relatively the same size. So what does that tell you about these shadows when they're going, because they're going from the cloud down to the ground, closer to you to further away? So what does that tell you? That tells you actually these clouds are bigger, these shadows are bigger than the clouds, but they look the same size and they look parallel, but you've reversed your perspective. If you're going to reverse your perspective backwards, it shouldn't go from this exaggeration to this normality that looks like they're parallel and the same size. It should reverse the other way. Okay, so you have to keep studying this. Here you go. And you can really see how these would have to be parallel shadows, but they're not, okay? And the more you study these, see, this is what they will tell you is like this picture. When you see the rays like this, this is that as seen from here. You're right here, but the rays are coming like this parallel is what they tell us, because the sun is 93 million miles away and 1 million miles wide, and it's just so massively huge that there's no on the earth. Now I want you to understand the other perspective. You know, we've looked at some pictures here. We need to look at perhaps a couple more. Here's one that you need to go over to P-Brain, because P-Brain argues that if we see crepuscular rays like that, how come we don't see buildings looking like this? And he makes a very good point. We should be able to see buildings look like this if crepuscular rays are parallel, but they look that way. Let's see. Where's another good one? I mean, really, one of the best ones that I've seen is right up. Where did it go? Come on. I guess this one, where the rays are right from there right down to the water, and you see how they come from the cloud right to there, and they're all splayed out and spread out, and they're right there, guys. There's no way to say, I mean, you tell me, you think that those rays are parallel? Now let's see what the experts have admitted. The globe side scientists tell us that this phenomenon could be explained if you assume a distant sun or if you assume a close sun. Listen up here to this.
Sun was only a few thousand miles away from Earth, not 93 million. He also believed that the sun was only 32 miles across, not 860,000. He sounds crazy. Or does he? You see, the same phenomenon Eratosthenes measured could be explained by a flat Earth if the sun were only a few thousand miles away and 32 miles across. The math would work out the same. Today, with the power of the internet, modern-day flat earthers have picked up where Villava left off. They have quite good explanation.
Okay, so see that? See what he said? Are you putting it together now? The moment you get any divergence of these rays, you can no longer have a globe Earth. For it to be explained as a globe, you have to have parallel rays. If they become, non-parallel, then as soon as that happens at all, even a little bit, you now have to have a close sun on a flat Earth. And if we go to, let's go up here 2 minutes, and another leading scientist, Vsauce, I don't know if he's a leading scientist, but he is a glober. Neil deGrasse Tyson, here he affirms this.
Thanks for watching.
This is thousands of years,
Before
2,000 years
Columbus.
before Columbus. Exactly.
Right.
So now if the Earth is round, how big is Earth?
Mm-hmm.
You might want to check for that. There was a famous experiment conducted by Eratosthenes.
Eratosthenes.
And there are two cities in the old world, and one of them, they knew that at 12 noon on a particular day of the year, that the sun was directly overhead, and you could see the bottom of a well.
Oh, okay.
You don't run around looking at the bottoms of wells.
No.
Because the light doesn't take, it's just, no.
Doesn't get down there.
Doesn't get down there.
How can we use this observation to see if Earth's surface is curved? We needed another well. Turns out we can't see the bottom of both wells at the same time. What might explain this? We could have a flat Earth with a sun that's small and close by, so that the light hits the second well at an angle.
And by the way, when people want to send this much plutonium, 238, which is not even the weapons plutonium, a baseball size, grapefruit size, people freak out because the rockets sometimes blow up. Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. What happens if you fall into a wormhole and then you end up in another part of the universe, in another time?
So, guys, Bill Nye the Science Guy tells us we're in a closed system, guys. Neil deGrasse Tyson, they're leading. These are actors, guys. It's basically all they are. It's just their puppets that they put on stage. They're prophets of scientism, guys. Admit, this is not me saying this, but if these rays are not parallel, then it has to be a close sun. And this alone, if you believe sun rays are not parallel, then you're a flat earther. That's the end of it. It can't be any other way. Those are the only two options, is either they're parallel and it's a globe, or they're not parallel and it's a flat earth. Now, let's close with my video. This is in 1 o'clock in the afternoon at my house, my neighbor's yard. Guys, do you see the rays through the smoke? Are the rays parallel? The sun rays? And of course someone's gonna say something about refraction, but I can see them from right here that they're not parallel. I mean, they're just not. You can see them spreading out all the way there, all the way to there, even over to there. You can see the rays just right that close to me. They're not even parallel. Look over there. They're completely slanted like that. This is a perfect example where crepuscular rays are not parallel. That's so close up to me. That is not my that's not perspective, guys. God bless. Yeah, so guys, with, like, share, subscribe. I hope I explained this better, but with the sun being right over my head and those rays being right in front of me on the ground level where I am, they should look parallel. If they are parallel, that I should not have there's no reason for me to have this appearance that they splay out. So, hopefully there it is. I tried to see how the line is much longer. It almost stretches out the whole photo. And then up here, it's only 2/3 of the photo or so, because it's shrinking. See how the rays are shrinking back to a point? Are you seeing how that is? So then this phenomenon with our shadows we see would show that we have to interpret our shadows on a flat earth if this is true. And I mean, come on, guys. I mean, do you really think those rays that close to me in the trees across the street would, I mean, look at the trees. The trees are parallel. I can tell that. The trees don't converge. Do the trees, does perspective make the trees look like they're converging? No, you can tell they're up and down, but that's not the case with those rays that are right there. So there's the point made, guys. God bless. I hope this really helps you. Guys, this is a huge deception. This is just a huge deception, and that's why I try to help people to see that science says flat earth, and this closes. There's no more arguing about it because of this. So, I mean, all the things people try to, every astronaut is lying? Well, maybe not. They might be deceived, guys. They might have sold their soul to the devil. That does happen. So, that's all I had there, guys, and God bless. Jesus is the light of the world. Have a good one.